All right, as we speak, today is also Kargil Vijay Diwas, as you might already know. But cutting very quickly to visuals on our screens right now of the ceremonies taking place. As we speak, the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is also going to be visiting Jammu and Kashmir to attend a commemoration ceremony taking over there. As we said, Kargil Vijay Diwas is observed every year on July 26th to commemorate India's victory over Pakistan. We're going to take a very quick listen at the sounds and visuals on the ground right now. My colleague Tejinder Singh is with us right now to bring us a lot more context on what we're seeing on our screens. Tejinder, share with our audiences, what is Kargil Vijay Diwas? What exactly are we commemorating? And then if you could tell our audiences more about the visuals we're seeing and what the ceremonies in front of us are supposed to commemorate.
Yes, you see, the nation is today celebrating the 23rd anniversary of the victory in the war of Kargil. That war happened in 1999 when the Pakistan army and those terrorists, they occupied the heights of Kargil, the heights of Tiger Hill, Tololing, Drass. They were occupied during winters by the Pakistan army, and when Indian army came to know about this, they evacuated. There was a war that was fought, and those Pakistani army, they were evacuated, and Pakistan was defeated in that war. And today, the entire nation is celebrating that 23rd anniversary of the Indian Army's victory in Kargil. So, you see in these visuals, a wreath-laying ceremony is being held at the Balidan Stamp here in Jammu, where the senior army officers are commemorating, are remembering those fallen soldiers, more than 400 fallen soldiers who laid down their lives during the Kargil War. You see the senior officers of the Tiger Division here in Jammu, they are laying the wreath at Balidan Stamp, and this Balidan Stamp has been erected in Jammu so as to commemorate all those fallen soldiers who have laid down their life for the nation since 1947. So today the entire nation is paying homage to all those soldiers who fought valiantly for the nation, and they helped regain those heights that were occupied by deceit by the Pakistan army during the 1999 Kargil incursion, and the Indian army made it sure that every single inch of the Indian territory is recaptured from the Pakistan's occupation. So today the senior army officers are laying a wreath. They are remembering all those fallen soldiers who gave their life to upkeep the sovereignty, integrity, and unity of India, and the entire nation is indebted to the supreme sacrifice made by those soldiers, by those officers who fought there with the enemy at those heights where even you see breathing becomes difficult because of low oxygen, but they fought and they made it sure that the every single inch of Indian territory is recaptured from Pakistan side. Yes.
Tejinder, stay with us. I just want to give our audiences a little bit more background here, not just on the visuals that we're seeing in front of us. Tejinder, if you could tell our audiences a little bit more about events we've seen the BJP in particular organize. I know that there was a Srinagar Kargil bikers rally that was flagged off on Vijay Diwas Eve, for example. Tell our audiences more.
See, many such events are being organized throughout the country to remember those fallen soldiers and to commemorate the victory of Indian Army, Indian Armed Forces over Pakistan, who had illegally occupied the heights in Kargil. There were several such events. We saw a couple of days ago a bike rally that was organized by the women in Jammu. Around 8 to 10 women from Jammu, they went to on their bikes to Kargil. Yesterday we saw the BJP youth wing organizing a bikers rally from Srinagar. They will also be going to Kargil. And today also several events have been will be held in Kargil in Drass War Memorial, wherein the army would remember all those fallen soldiers and also would throw light on all the events that led up to the Kargil War and finally the victory of Indian Armed Forces over Pakistan. You see, it was during the 1999 when Pakistan deceived Indian army and they occupied the heights in Kargil because there was an understanding between both the sides that during winters they will come back and they will vacate those heights and but when the Indian army came back, Pakistani army they illegally occupied those heights, and when Indian army they came to know about that those heights being occupied by the Pakistan side, they launched the operation. Operation Vijay was launched, and finally Indian army evacuated all those Pakistani army personnel from those heights, and though more than 400 Indian army soldiers and officers they made the supreme sacrifice while evacuating those Pakistani army jawans from those heights. Though Pakistan wanted to show the world that those heights were occupied by not the Pakistan army officers and Pakistan army, but those were the Kashmiri terrorists. This was what Pakistan wanted to show the world. But the documents, the I cards, and other things that were recovered from the killed the army of Pakistan who were killed during the Kargil War, it clearly proved that it was the Pakistan Army's involvement. And at one point in time, if you remember, the Pakistan Army even refused to accept the bodies of its own officers and Jawans who were killed in the Kargil operation. So finally, Pakistan had to relent and accept those bodies. So clearly, Pakistan even they did not accept the bodies of their fallen soldiers, but Indian Army, on the other hand, gave a proper burial with full military honors to even the enemy. So this is the greatness of this nation called India, wherein the enemy soldiers who died in the war, they were given proper treatment, they were given proper burial by the Indian Army. So Indian Army, finally, they were able to defeat Pakistan in this war, and today the entire nation is celebrating the 23rd anniversary of Indian Armed Forces victory over Pakistan in the Kargil War. Yes.
All right, Tejinder, stay with us right now. We also have Pawan Kumar joining us. He's with us from the ground right now. Let's go with him to understand more. Pawan जी हमारे साथ अभी जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद. Pawan जी, आप हमारे दर्शक को बता सकते हैं आज स्केड्यूल पे क्या-क्या है?
देखिए, कारगिल विजय दिवस पर आज हम इस समय बलिदान स्तंभ में आप देख सकते हैं जवान जहां पर अपने शहीद साथियों को श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए पहुंचे हैं। ये जम्मू का बलिदान स्तंभ जो है ये सभी शहीदों की याद में बनाया गया है। खास करके जितने भी इंडो पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर हो, इंडो पाकिस्तान वार हो, इंडो चाइना वार हो, जहाँ फिर कारगिल वार हो, तो जितने भी शहीद हैं उनकी याद में ये यहाँ पर बलिदान स्तंभ बनाया गया है। और यहाँ पर आज कारगिल विजय दिवस के ऊपर एक कार्यक्रम जो है वो रखा गया था। ये ज्योति जी देख सकते हैं बलिदान स्तंभ के भीतर जो अभी यहाँ पर जो श्रद्धांजलि देने जवान जो अधिकारी जहां पहुंचे थे, तो आज उन साथियों को, शहीद साथियों को श्रद्धांजलि जम्मू में दी गई है, जिसमें कारगिल में जितने जवान शहीद हुए थे वो कैप्टन विक्रम बत्रा हो, जहाँ कैप्टन मनोज पांडे हो, तो उन सभी साथियों को जहाँ पर श्रद्धांजलि दी गई। तो यहाँ पर आप बाहर देखें तो बाहर का नज़ारा देखने वाला है कि जवान जो हैं अपने साथी जो हैं उनके लिए जहाँ लगा रहे हैं भारत माता की जय के जय घोष यहाँ पर हो रहे हैं। और यहाँ पर जवान जो हैं देखें, भारतीय सेना के जवान जो बलिदान स्तंभ में पहुँचे थे, इन्होंने अपने साथियों को यहाँ पर याद किया है, उनको श्रद्धांजलि दी है। तो इसी तरह के कार्यक्रम उधमपुर में, नगरोटा में, द्रास में, कारगिल में, हर जगह पर ये कार्यक्रम जो हैं ये हुए हैं। और जवान जहाँ पर आप देखें तो जय घोष के नारे जहाँ पर अभी लगाए हैं। और आप देख सकते हैं ये इस तरह का जो जवानों में है, अपने शहीद जो साथी हैं उनको श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए यहाँ पर जवान ये पहुँचे हुए हैं बलिदान स्तंभ में। और इस समय जो स्थानीय ब्रिगेड कमांडर थे उन्होंने श्रद्धांजलि दी है, जो वेटरन थे उन्होंने श्रद्धांजलि दी है साथियों को। तो अभी ये कार्यक्रम जम्मू में जो चल रहा था बलिदान स्तंभ में, वहाँ पर अब भारतीय सेना के जवान जो हैं वो अपने उन साथियों को याद करने के लिए पहुंचे थे जिन्होंने कारगिल विजय दिवस जो आज मनाया जा रहा है कारगिल में ऑपरेशन विजय के दौरान जिन्होंने शहादत पाई थी। तो इसी तरह के कार्यक्रम जम्मू के अलावा दूसरी जगह पर भी पूरे देश में आज जो है वो मनाए जा रहे हैं।
All right, Pavan Kumar ji, हमारे साथ अभी जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद. Now, my colleague, Jammu and Kashmir Bureau Chief Mufti Islam, with us right now to bring us more details about the commemoration as it's taking place right now. Mufti, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Mufti, the Kargil War held all the way back in 1999, but for our audiences, can you explain efforts taking place in Kashmir, for example, to commemorate the event? Could you also explain to our audiences the historical significance of what we're seeing take place on our screens right now in Jammu?
Look, the biggest function takes place on this particular day to commemorate the victory of Indian troops over Pakistani over these icy peaks in Kargil. That war happened in 1999, and India decisively won that because they could push back those intruders. You will clearly know about, say, for example, the heights of Taloling, for that matter, Kasgar or Tiger Hills, which was the highest peak, and where Pakistani intruders, along with the regular army, had come in. They had sat on our position and tried to, fire from there on the national highway, that is Srinagar-Kargil-Leh highway. Subsequently, when India got to know, the Indian soldiers got to know via shepherds who had trekked up, and they saw some moment of different kind of people with guns. They reported that to the Indian army, who then mounted an assault, and that assault took more than 30 days. And finally, Indian army evicted those intruders. Clearly, the war was fought at many places: the Mashko Valley, the Tololing, the Drass proper, where this commemoration takes place almost every year. There is a huge war memorial which has been put up. There's a plaque of 532 soldiers. Their names have been written, their sacrifices really being remembered on this particular day. And then the army puts up a grand show all these years, which culminates into the Northern Commander briefing the press. And before there are events like fly past. Petals are showered on the war memorial from hectares, which fly from the top in the skies of Kargil. And also the soldiers interact with top commanders of the army to really talk about that event, just to inculcate the spirit of nationalism and bravery and the raw courage that Indian soldier had. Clearly, Kargil marks the soldier, the soldier of India who is made of steel, and the sacrifices he had laid on those icy peaks. It was not easy. The soldiers were fighting hand-to-hand combat at a height of 17,000 to 20,000 feet, where an ordinary soul can go breathless because of rarity of oxygen. So this particular event and other events that take place, Pavan was reporting from Jammu.
Right.
There are few events across the state, rather erstwhile state, which recall and remember the sacrifices of the Indian soldiers and also the victory which the Indian soldier won on those huge heights. And clearly, today those soldiers are remembered for their selfless sacrifices they put in for the nation.
Mufti, stay with us. Thank you for bringing us those details. For our audiences, on the left side of your screens right now, the visuals you're seeing are from Drass, which is the hill station, remember, located in the Kargil district, in the Union Territory of Ladakh. So those are the visuals on the left side of your screen. On the right side of your screen, those visuals are coming in from Jammu, where my colleague Pavan Kumar is with us live right now. We're going to go over to him to ask him the next question. पवन जी, अगर आप मुझे सुन सकते हैं, मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहती हूँ, रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह भी वहाँ पे थे शायद विजय दिवस के लिए, उसके बारे में आप हमें और बता सकते हैं प्लीज़?
देखिए, जो द्रास में जो कारगिल विजय दिवस मनाया गया है, वहाँ पर जो श्रद्धांजलि दी गई है, और वहाँ पर जो रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह जो खुद पहुँचे हुए थे। और जम्मू की अगर हम बात करें तो जम्मू में बलिदान स्तंभ के अंदर जो स्थानीय यहाँ ब्रिगेड कमांडर थे, उन्होंने श्रद्धांजलि दी है। और अभी आप देखिए यहाँ पर सेना और जो सिविल जो लोग हैं, जहाँ पर सब लोग पहुँचे हुए हैं। इस तरफ जितने वेटरन थे उनको जो सम्मानित किया जा रहा है कारगिल विजय दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में, जो दिन जो आज पूरे देश में मनाया जा रहा है, खास करके भारतीय सेना इस दिन को एक गौरवमयी दिन मानती है। शहादतों के बाद भी उन पहाड़ियों को पाकिस्तानियों से छीना था, वहाँ पर बलिदान हुए थे जो जवान हमारे, आज उनकी याद में ये दिन मनाया जाता है। तो यहाँ पर आप देखें तो ब्रिगेड कमांडर जो हैं वो वेटरन्स जो भारतीय सेना के हैं उनको यहाँ सम्मानित कर रहे हैं, जो भारतीय फ़ौज से यहाँ से रिटायर हुए हैं। और जहाँ इस दिन की अगर ख़ास महत्वता ये है कि आज पूरे देश में इस दिन को विजय दिवस के रूप में मनाया जाता है। कर्नल वीरेंद्र शाही हमारे साथ हैं जो वीर चक्र विजेता हैं। आज के दिन पे कर्नल शाही क्या कहेंगे?
ये आज का यूनिक दिन है, वीरों को याद किया जाता है, वीर नारियों को याद किया जाता है। वो अर्ध शहीद जो हैं, जो कि अपना शरीर का कोई एक बड़ा भाग खोकर युद्ध में ज़ख्मी वापस आए और पूरे शरीर के साथ आज नहीं हैं, वॉर इंजरीज़ की वजह से डिसेबल्ड हैं, स्पेशली एबल्ड हैं, उनको सम्मान देने के लिए आज ये दिन मनाया जा रहा है।
तो बिल्कुल ये थे कर्नल शाही जो वीर चक्र विजेता हैं, खुद जो खा रहे हैं कि आज का दिन एक महत्व दिन होता है। अब इस तरफ देखिए जहाँ पर जो भारतीय सेना के साथ साथ आम लोग जो हैं वो भी इस दिन को मनाने के लिए यहाँ पहुँचे हैं। स्थानीय जो ब्रिगेड कमांडर हैं उन्होंने खुद यहाँ पर आज श्रद्धांजलि दी है और यहाँ इन जवानों को याद किया है जो कारगिल में शहीद हुए थे। आज का दिन पूरे देश में मनाया जा रहा है, खास करके भारतीय सेना के लिए ये एक अहम दिन होता है, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से कारगिल की उन पहाड़ियों के ऊपर जो पाकिस्तानी फौजी और उनके घुसपैठिए जो घुसे थे उनको मार भगाया था और जिसमें बहुत शहादतें भारतीय सेना के अफसरों और जवानों को देनी पड़ी थी। तो उन्हीं की याद में आज कारगिल जो विजय दिवस है ये मनाया जा रहा है। खास करके जम्मू में इस बलिदान स्तंभ के इलाके में अगर आप देखें तो जहां पर वेटरन्स को भी बुलाया गया है जो 1971 या 65 वार के दौरान जिन्होंने पाकिस्तान के दांत खट्टे किए थे। जैसा हमने कर्नल वीरेंद्र शाही से अभी बात की, वो वीर चक्र विजेता है 1965 के, और उन्होंने बताया है कि आज का दिन कितना महत्व है भारतीय सेना के लिए।
All right, Pavan ji, हमारे साथ please जुड़े रहिए. We have Major General A.K. Sivacha, defense expert. He's with us right now to bring us more context. General, thank you so much for joining us this morning here at CNN News 18.